I'm so Oh, mate! Cock, you absolute fucking knob. I need to see that. I'm gonna...
Teleport, break your enemy's aim assist and camera, all while discovering new ways to take advantage of your movement in Warzone. Mastering the art of movement in Warzone can be tough. Move too much and you're dead. Too little and you're an easy target. So let's fix that. First, we will start with the most important settings, followed by how to do all the movement techniques from basic to advanced, and some of which will likely be new to you. And last but definitely not least, I will teach you the art of execution. You see, most movement guides will show you how to do the move, but what they don't show you is when you should, and even more importantly, should not use it, or which moves are the best based on the different situations that you are in. And as a professional Warzone coach with more than 4,500 sessions done, it's literally my job to help you become your best. So this is my ultimate movement guide. These are the most important settings for both input, with only this setting being for mouse and keyboard and this one for controller. And always remember, if you're playing on a higher sense, your movement will be snappier and will be faster. Let's start with the movement techniques and the two moves that you should never do. YYing and camera shaking. This only works versus really bad players, and whoever is calling it movement is most likely a VPN user who can't even play this game unless everybody against him is a bot. So never do these two moves, as you're making it harder for yourself to see your enemy. And now it's time for the movement techniques, starting with the most common and important one, sliding and its 4 variations. Sliding is important in 2 ways. Offensively, to break the enemy's camera and move really quickly, or defensively to get back into cover and fall back. And for whatever reason you decide to use it, always remember to use stims to gain that short speed boost.
Someone's behind us.
And now for the first variation, which is the well-known slide cancel. It's simply done by tapping your slide button and then the jump button. And if you need a quick speed boost, this is your go-to. It's great to go to cover or to get a small advantage in catching the enemy off guard by simply breaking their cameras. I also like to use it in a different way, which is to use it as a replacement to shoulder peeking only when I know where the enemy is. That way, instead of showing my body gradually, I can slide into cover and pop my head from behind it without showing my shoulders first, hence giving the enemy info and a heads up that I am coming their way. But if you like to use it like Warzone 1 days to move fast around the map, please don't. Instead, jump and then slide while letting the slide go all the way through. And because you have slide maintain sprint on, this will allow you to move faster as well as being a harder target to hit. The second variation is one of my favorite ones to break the enemy's aim and aim assist. And in my opinion, you should always use this technique because it's a guarantee to make the enemy miss a few shots. To do it, start by practicing to slide cancel, turning towards your enemy, and then jumping sideways again. Now you can do this in the same direction that you are sliding in, but I advise you practice jumping in the opposite direction of your slide, as that will throw the enemy's aim off even more. The third one is risky, but highly rewarding, which is by sliding into your enemy. Sometimes you have no cover and you are caught off guard and the enemy already landed a few shots on you. This is where this technique comes into play, as it will force the enemy to look down and try to track you and then have to readjust again because of the jump that you just did. And it's done by using the same technique as the move right before this, where you need to slide and cancel towards your enemy and then jump back. You can either slide to one of their sides and then jump back, or slide into their bodies and use it as an object to bounce off of it. Even sliding into walls will work with this technique. The fourth one is sliding into a drop shot. This is just a good way of trying to avoid some shots in case you are in the open. As for doing it, it's really simple. While you're sliding, go prone, and that's it. And speaking of drop shots, you can drop shot twice as fast in this game. This is how the regular drop shot looks like from the enemy POV versus when you use this technique I'm about to show you. To do this, you need to do 4 things at the same time. Tack sprint, move backwards, ADS, and go prone. The fastest and most effective way to learn this move is by dissecting all these steps. So start by tack sprinting, and as soon as your weapon is all the way up, start to move backwards. Once you're used to that, ADS and move backwards at the same time. And once this timing feels natural for you, just add the prone into the mixture and you're set to go. You'll notice that it's working once you feel like you're drop shotting a little bit faster even on your screen. And for controller players, I know that you guys are limited by having to hold the crouch button to go prone. A simple and easy way to bypass this is to get a foot pedal and use it as the prone button from mouse and keyboard, as Call of Duty allows multiple devices to be used at the same time for movement input. And now it's time to learn how to teleport across the enemy's screen, because we're gonna talk about dolphin diving and its 4 variations. The first and the most common one is to simply dolphin dive to get into cover while making yourself a harder target. Do not underestimate how important this can be, because not only is it faster than a slide, but you are also harder to hit as well. The second reason to dolphin dive is to reset your tag sprint. Unlike Warzone 1, slide cancelling does not reset your tag sprint. You are only feeling that it does that after 2 slides, but look at the stamina bar as it doesn't regenerate at all. And after 2 slides, you'll only tag sprint for a very short amount of time. But look at your stamina if you dolphin dive. So to move faster on the map, either use this technique or the jump and sliding all the way that we mentioned at the start of the video. The third variation will allow you to reach spots that were previously unreachable, as well as get to cancel the mantle animations that will always slow you down. When you see a spot that you're about to jump to, instead of jumping and then opening your parachute, sprint, dolphin dive, and then open your chute. This will give you an extra speed boost and will help you cross larger distances. And will save you a lot of time because you don't have to take the stairs or climb a ladder. The last one is going to confuse your enemies, as well as give you a speed boost like no other moves. And of course, this is where you're gonna be teleporting. When you dolphin dive, there is usually a small amount of time where you can't shoot or move because you are prone. It will take you some time to get back on your feet, and all of these things will make you an easy target to hit. But if you time your dolphin dive and land your thighs on the edge of any cover, you can instantly shoot and stand back up, which will allow you to move like this. You wanna build a snowman?
Enemy to tell before they go offline, yep.
By the way, guys, most of these clips are from my live streams on kick.com. A follow over there is highly appreciated, where I'm dropping constant 30s and 40s like it's nothing. But aside from my love of being a sweat, I also love talking to people. So if you guys want to play with me, or watch the high kill games, or have some Call of Duty related questions, my stream link and schedule are in the description below. And now for the jumping and its 4 variations. Starting with my favorite one, the C-hop. There is nothing funnier or stronger than this move to confuse your enemies, and it's simply done by leaning out of a moving vehicle and then pressing the exit button. The faster the car is going, the further you're going to jump. And if there's no door, you can't lean out and hence do the move. The second one is the water jump that will literally have you looking like a dolphin. With the introduction of water, getting out of it will have you temporarily unable to shoot, as well as slowing you down with that mantle animation. So instead of mantling your way up, use this technique and look how fast I can shoot and move at the same time. First of all, make sure that you have the correct settings from the start of the video. Then find yourself a piece of water in Warzone, or head into a private multiplayer match with a map like Greece. First thing you need to practice is the jump. So swim down and then go back up. And as you're about to exit the water, smash the jump button till you get that extra speed boost that will have you flying out. The more you get used to this, the more you know when to jump, and it will become a natural thing for you. Now that we have the jump mastered, it's time to use it with a ledge. First of all, you need to make sure that you're a bit far away from the ledge, otherwise you're going to start mantling your way up, and we don't want that. From there, time your jump where it launches you above the cover and at around anywhere between a 70 to 80 degree angle. When I was working on this move, it took me a while to find the best distance and angle to jump out of, and sometimes I was mantling when I didn't want to. But once you guys get used to the timing and the feeling and the pace, it'll be all natural and you won't have to deal with any of that. I'm pretty sure that you guys have seen this move before, but I'm not so sure if you know about the second way of using it. The third jump variation is the zipline jump. Not only will this cancel the slow animation at the end of the zipline where you can't even shoot back, it will help you surprise anybody that's camping the zipline. I've tested different ways of doing it, but the most consistent one was to keep moving backwards while you're on the zipline, and when you're ready to do this move, you jump. Depending on which part of the zipline you're at will determine how high you will go above the zipline. And you can spice it up by adding movement to the right or left. Now for the 2 different ways of using it, obviously the first one is the most common one, which is to catching enemy off guard, especially when they're camping the zipline. As for the second way of using it, it's more for maps like Vandal, where you can use that extra jump boost to get into new spots. This will take catching the enemy off guard into a whole new level. Easy, easy.
You do you, my man.
And now it's time to teleport again using the mantle jump. If you see a lot of cover near you, instead of tapping the mantle button every single time, which in my case it's space, just hold your mantle button and you will see your character fly across all of the covers. Now the other benefit of the mantle jump is to give you a speed boost when you're mantling. First of all, make sure that you're attack sprinting. And instead of holding your jump button, you're gonna tap it the first time to get on top of the cover while looking down. And then instantly snap to the direction you wanna jump to and press your jump button again. And now for snaking and crouching. The whole point of this is to take cover, to plate up and reload, while still getting information of what's going on around you. The easy way is to spam your crouch button by just going up and down and jiggling to the right and left. This is something that you should always do, but the bad side about this is it's kind of slow and the enemy will have time to shoot your head as it's going up and down. The faster way is snaking, where you can obviously see that it's almost impossible to react to the speed of the head going up and down, and it's popping from different sides at very fast speeds. To do the snake, you have to attack sprint towards a piece of cover, and when your weapon is all the way up, move backwards and go prone at the same time. Halfway to that animation, you have to move forward and press your sprint button at the same time. So in my case, I'm pressing S to go backwards and Z to go prone, and then W to move to the front and shift to sprint. Just make sure that you time it correctly halfway through the animation and don't let your character reach the ground. And now for 90s and 180s. Listen guys, having great movement is gonna help you unless your aim is not on par with it. So pick a random target, run around and do 90-degree turns towards the target, whether that's from the right or left. Once that becomes consistent, start doing different movement techniques and snapping to the target as well. And if you won't add 180s, because why not? This is easy to understand, but probably one of the most important movement and aim lessons combined. So please don't underestimate this practice. And if you need more help with your aim, my human aimbot guide is linked in the description below. And the last and easiest movement technique is simply strafing, which means going to the right and left, back and forth. It's important for activating rotational aim assist for controller players and making yourself a harder target, especially in the close range for both inputs. And now that we are done with the techniques, it's time for the important part, execution.
Okay, this guy's a fucking ninja.
To become a ninja, it all simmers down to these 10 pillars. I will explain them more as I analyze the movement clips. That way you guys have a visual representation of what these ideas look like. Especially when there aren't two identical examples and every situation will be different in Warzone. This will teach you how to think in a more broad way. And if you want a text definition of all these pillars so you can use it as a note for later, I have that in the description below. So our first clip is starting with high alert. So I'm either gonna take cover instantly or turn on somebody. Alright, so scratch the first guy. He was running in with a sniper that's on him. He died while switching weapons. But I was running away from somebody else, so notice the first thing is I slid right next to the door with some partial cover and I instantly pre-fired in case he's third-partying me. And as you notice here, I'm shoulder peeking or jiggle peeking to get some information. So this is more of micro positioning and making sure you're getting enough information while having some cover. And as you can see here, although I have a golden gas mask, if he gets to this area before me, he's going to be able to hold that angle. So I instantly pop some smokes because I don't have some cover. And I just broke the line of sight and ran away. It's not my fight.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Alright, and here you'll notice that I tried to shoot at somebody and I missed most of my shots. I know I'm fighting a full team. So me just staying there trying to go for one kill or one knock is not a good idea. I had my chance and I lost it. So I know that that's my time to fall back. I messed up.
Why did I do that?
I can already tell what's happening here. So this is a fake. In this case, the fake is just doing something that is not what the enemy expects. So I'm getting chased. I pop the smoke and I will wait until the footsteps stop and completely stop moving.
I think there's someone close underneath me. Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
I don't know if the sniper is pushing or no.
Alright, so in the first video, you saw me use the smoke as a defense to fall back. And the second one, you saw it as a fake in terms of baiting somebody in. This time, it's a fake because we're making them think something completely different and we're giving them false information with no line of sight, but I'm using it aggressively. The first one was defensive so I can play it up in safety. I threw the second one at them. He has a knock. He's either going to push out of the smoke towards me, which is a bad idea, or he has to stay there and either wait for me or go for the res, which is going to confuse him a lot because people don't expect you to throw the smokes at them in Warzone. And then the slide cancel came at the end, but the whole point of this video was sometimes it's all about the things that are small details that have to do with these 10 pillars, and then they will lead up to that movement or that slide cancel, which even in this case wasn't the highlight. The movement was just knowing when to move under what circumstances. The slide cancel wouldn't make a difference here.
Oh, but yeah, them.
Oh, fuck.
Oh
Aimbot.
my god.
Over here, dude, watch out.
First thing, instantly taking cover. Jiggle peeking while plating. I see him. Okay, listen, this is very aggressive. Do not do this, okay? This is me just being an asshole, basically. Stuck him.
Yeah, he's...
I love sticking people, by the way. I have a full montage for that in the channel somewhere.
Oh,
Okay, so one of my teammates is completely dead. The other is downed, and I threw a smoke and got my finish. I know there's one guy here and one guy here. They're most likely gonna push me. At the moment my teammate is dead and he's about to, they're gonna know where I am. It's gonna be a 2v1. So where I threw that smoke, I moved into it. They won't expect that. And as soon as they see me on the minimap, they won't be able to see me in front of them.
fuck.
And the slide cancel here is just to stay on the fastest speed possible. And by the way, when you're plating, you're at max speed. So it's better to run with your plates if you have the chance to, instead of running and your tac sprint is out and now you're just like this instead of this.
Enemy so.
Second smoke to reload.
Safe?
And now I attack. I'm listening to where he is.
Okay.
And you can see his teammate for a second pop right behind me. Sorry, right behind him. And there you go. On the
Ain't no way. Going crazy.
yes, way, bro. Yes, way.
Come on, let's go get him. Let's go up.
And now I know where to pre-aim. I just gotta take a small heady. In this case, instead of going to cover, I'll just stay behind this ledge, like where only my head shows. I see him.
We located the rest of them.
Oh, I remember this.
Enemy dropping into the AO.
Alright, so the first thing I did was I try to stay alive in the smoke because I have no info on where they are and I want them to come to me. And I have some limited time. The moment I broke this guy, I know that it's going to be a 2v1. I slid into this cover because this will break the line of sight of both. That means they can't shoot me. And once I take this guy out, I'm stuck with the decision of trying to replay it and go around him, wait for him to push me, which is a bad idea because I don't have plates, or take advantage and break his camera as soon as possible. Oh my! Alright, so here, I remember this clip. I'm going to fall back. I didn't have a knock here on the second duo. I'm playing solo duos here. But when he gets stressed, that's a third party incoming. This guy is pushing me. Yes, I can close the door and replay it for once or do a door play and kill him. But his teammate will have line of sight of me, which is not a good idea. And right when I knew that I could hear his teammate around this wall, that's what I slide canceled. and catch him off guard and go for the first fight. So instead of a 1v2 at the same time, I turned it into a 1v1. And now his teammate is coming and it's time for the next 1v1. I slide cancel. This time the slide cancel is the highlight of the movement, only after a lot of things led up to it. And I'm gonna break his line of sight. And then with a jump chow while he's still aiming somewhere completely else. And the second 1v1 is done. Alright, just for context here, I was searching for a Noir skin, the fully black one. I see the shadow, that's my chance. That stun is the black Noir that I was searching for. And here, I always go back to cover, but I hear him, so I need some information, I need some line of sight. So I check for him while jiggle peeking and instantly take cover again. And I switch from my SMG to my AR because that SMG has 8 bullets, which is not enough. And only when I broke him and I couldn't shoot him anymore because of that pole is when I perform my slide and finish him off, because I already broke him and he didn't break me. And then you can see how many times he had to adjust his aim because of that slide cancel jump. It's really effective. Even with his shotgun spreading, he couldn't hit his shot. Remember that exercise that I told you guys about, which was to practice doing slide cancels or any movement techniques with 90 degrees and 180s? This is where it kicks in. This is literally the best representation. I do some damage on this guy. I know he's weak. I have enough ammo. I am going to sprint towards him and then slide. 90-degree turn, finished him, and now I need to check where the other is. I already see him on the enemy map shooting. I do a 180, I see him. If I stay at my spot, I'm dead. So I break his camera so I can do some damage on him before he does on me, because I don't have plates. And he ran out of ammo just trying to track me.
Oh, that would have been a kill, man.
This is just to remind you guys that sometimes the most basic movement is all that you need.
That would have been a kill, man.
I strafe. I jump to the right and strafe back in. So I'm just trying to make things up, like make him aim and change a completely different way. Small movements, they made me win that fight. So I slit canceled the first cover and dolphin dive to the next one just to make sure that I have my last plate in, and now I'm ready. So why am I not pushing here? I have a perfect heady. Barely anything of my body is showing. All I have to do is micro position myself and keep strafing. While he doesn't have any cover with a heady. If he wants to use this as cover, he has to peek fully from this side or that side. So I'll be able to see him for the most part, and I have the better cover here. He figured out now that he's in a bad spot and did this, which is he left his cover. Never do that. Cover to cover movement is golden. You'll see that written below, and this is why.
Yep.
Careful.
I'm watching this right side.
Yep, I know what it is. I saw it.
Yeah, I want.
So remember when I said that sometimes simple movement? This is it. I know where he is. He's under me somewhere, but I don't know exactly where. So I'm jiggle peeking for info. The moment I saw him, I jiggle peeked back, switched to the proper weapon, adjusted and centered my aim. I talked about this in the movement and the aim guide below before, and just use that and instant easy headshots.
I'm watching this right side.
Yep, I know what it is. I saw it.
Yeah, I want.
Go, baby.
I'll play it up. I'm trying to play it up.
And this is movement without any techniques. I just repositioned outside of his line of sight. That's what I'm trying to point out with why your line of sight and information is important. Not a single movement technique, just pure outplays. Alright, so this is why cover-to-cover movement is important. I see the second guy pushing me, and I know that I'm not in a good spot to use this weapon. The other guy is already starting to land his shots on me, and I don't have full plates, and I don't like this weapon. It's not that great. The M13C is not that great. So I instantly switched weapons while going back and swiped and went back to him with the shotgun in my hand and broke his line of sight by slide canceling into cover. And that way I have a closer range with him and my shotgun is more effective. And he didn't land any shots on me. So I might be able to have a chance to land shots on him first. Oh! Alright, so here I had a sniper out, I was waiting for a team, and I don't have any plates. They came up way closer to me, so if I stayed with that sniper, by the time I want a quick I want to scope in with that slow one, I'm dead. It's not a good idea, so I fell back, put this deployable cover in case they want to push me, and I threw an angled stun, which means now it's going to bounce to the left, and that area will tell me if there's somebody there or not. And if you notice here, when I was sliding with a direction around cover to make sure that that other guy cannot see me. And instantly, I start running away and go back to cover. I couldn't get my finish, it doesn't matter. Has my loot! And as expected, I was getting shot. So here I'm in cover, I broke the line of sight, and I'm gonna do a fake. Because he thought I'm running away, while in reality, I snapped right back and I'm going towards him. Oh, let me clear this up. It's a little bit glitchy for you guys. And as you can see, he's running with his weapon all the way up because he thinks that I'm running away, but I'm not. And that's my chance to catch him off guard, even though I don't have any plates on me. Down one. Obviously, first lesson, drop the ego and fall back.
There are 24 enemies active. Kill them all.
So if you realize how I ran here, it wasn't a straight line.
24 enemies active. Kill them all.
I ran to the right and then left, because if I kept moving in a straight line, he won't have to correct his aim and he's most likely landing all his shots. Here, not only he might also miss, but he might say, oh, he's in cover now, so I'm gonna start running and put my weapon all the way up and not shoot at him. Which you hear the silence here, which is what happened. I'm getting shot again, so I break to the right because they can't see me like that. I just saw somebody pass right in front of me over here, which means that I can't go through this door.
I don't know how you got out of there alive.
I'm still not out of there yet. Oof. And if you realize here, I kept running away. Somebody else popped in. I don't know if this is the same guy or somebody else. And this is the perfect example of why door plays are important. I opened the doors and he thought that I'm running away. That sound cue that he heard was enough reason for him to be in my bait and be in my fake. And then I just caught him off guard with a simple jump. Like, this is the perfect example of knowing when to strike. Like, you have to balance when to be aggressive and when to be defensive and keep falling back. This is what I mean by opportunities. If I was gonna fight anytime before this moment, I was most likely gonna get shot by two guys at the same time and lose. But I kept falling back until I could isolate one of them at least, and that was my opportunity. I had to kind of wait for it and create it at the same time based on how I'm positioning myself and using the door plays. I have no idea where he is. I threw a stun. I know he's in that direction. So I'll gently peek out and check for info. I'm caught in a bad spot, so I'm gonna zigzag to the right first, then left. I already explained why we do that. And I still want to put one more plate. He confirmed that he's pushing now. He committed to it. I plate up and instantly snap my 180 back to run towards him and perform the final slide. And that was it, guys. Thank you for watching my movement guide. I just have one more thing for you guys before you go. Concerning your training method, always understand that this is a journey, okay? Be patient with yourself and remember that the only way for you guys to improve is to go through hardships. So expect losing fights, expect trying to slide cancel and messing up the timing, messing up the buttons, messing up the place. Like, understand that for you to do this perfectly, consistently, you have to start by consistently making mistakes and asking yourself what could be different. Don't be mad about losing. Don't rage quit. Don't give up on the game or go back to a playstyle that you don't like. Trust me, I die a lot, and that was the best way for me to improve.